Welcome to the Better Man Project, the audio program that explores the intersection of powerful principles behind great leadership, entrepreneurship, faith, and personal growth. Each week, we'll be diving into insightful summaries of books by authors who have mastered these areas and unpack key actionable principles and practical advice, giving you a taste of what makes these books so impactful. Whether you want to build a thriving business, inspire your team, or simply become a more effective leader in your own life, this podcast is for you.
Hi, I'm Mark. In my journey of personal growth, I've invested years building a formidable library. Thanks to a continuing education program that gave me monthly access to powerful books that are packed with incredible insights on how to level up in all aspects of life. I have tasked AI to make a bite-sized summary in a fun and engaging podcast format of each of these life-changing books, and I'm excited to share this wisdom as we do a deep dive of these amazing books. So let's dive in.
All right, welcome to your personalized deep dive. You know, you sent us some really interesting excerpts from Personality Plus by Florence Littauer, and we're going to
unpack them.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
We're going to unpack its secrets today. Get ready to explore 4 temperaments.
For 4 temperaments.
Their strengths.
That's right.
And how these personality traits impact your everyday life.
This is exciting. We're not just going to be like labeling people.
Right.
We're going to figure out the why behind those labels.
I love that, the why.
Yeah, and how they play out in real life.
Okay. So Personality Plus breaks down personality into 4 core temperaments.
That's right.
Sanguine, melancholy, choleric, and phlegmatic.
Uh-huh.
We're all a mix.
Right.
But one often dominates.
Yeah, exactly. And knowing which one is your dominant temperament or the temperament of somebody you're dealing with, it's like having a secret decoder ring.
I love that.
For all your relationships, you can kind of understand their motivations. You can predict their reactions. You can even tailor your communication to have a smoother interaction with them. It's really valuable.
First up, the sanguine, the life of the party.
Oh, yeah. The life of the party.
The book describes them as charming, enthusiastic, and natural storytellers.
Yes.
They have a knack for inspiring others and always seem to see the glass half full.
They do. Think about them like fireworks, like the human equivalent of fireworks, you know? They bring energy and excitement to every room they enter. And it's not just about like being fun-loving and, you know, life of the party. There's a real power in their enthusiasm. They're like natural motivators, networkers, idea generators.
I can see how that would be a huge asset, especially in fields like sales, marketing, or even entertainment.
Absolutely. I mean, but like with any strong personality trait, it has its downsides, right? Like remember the anecdote about Florence Littauer getting lost in the parking garage?
Oh, yes.
So good.
Yeah, she ended up making friends with a group of strangers while trying to find her car.
Right. Exactly. And I think what's so revealing about that is that, you know, sanguines, with their love of storytelling and connecting with people, they can sometimes embellish reality a little bit to make it more entertaining. You know, they might gloss over details or focus on the positive just to keep things light and engaging.
So someone who primarily identifies with the sanguine temperament may need to be mindful of that tendency, especially in situations that require like meticulous accuracy.
Precisely. It's not about suppressing their natural charisma, but rather about being aware of how it might impact their communication and interactions. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, we have the melancholies.
The deep thinkers.
The deep thinkers, they are analytical, detail-oriented, and organized.
The book mentioned how Florence Littauer's husband, Fred, is a melancholy who meticulously organizes everything.
Oh, my gosh.
From his clothes and daily lists to the way he arranges cash in his wallet. Like almost seems like a superpower.
It is. In a way it is. That meticulousness isn't just about being tidy.
Right.
It's a reflection of their, like, cognitive process, you know?
Yeah.
Melancholies have this incredible ability to analyze information, break it down into its smallest components,
Wow.
and then reassemble it in a perfectly ordered system.
Yeah.
That's what makes them such great planners, researchers, and problem solvers.
And this meticulousness is likely tied to their artistic talents as well, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The book talks about how they often excel in artistic or musical pursuits.
Yeah. Think about Michelangelo, classic example of a melancholy.
Yeah.
Known for his meticulous research and planning before he even lifted a chisel.
Wow.
Imagine if he'd been a sanguine.
That's a great point.
Right. The Sistine Chapel might be.
We might have gotten a wildly different Sistine Chapel.
Wildly different, right. Totally different. So while a sanguine, might jump into a project head first, fueled by enthusiasm, a melancholy takes a more measured, methodical approach.
Yeah.
Right. They want to understand all the nuances, consider all the angles, and ensure that everything is just right before taking action. And this is a huge advantage in fields like science, engineering, accounting, where precision and accuracy are paramount.
But I imagine this analytical mindset can also lead to overthinking and perfectionism, right?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
The book highlights that, like a melancholy strength can also become their weakness if taken to an extreme.
Yeah, right.
They might get so caught up in the details that they struggle to make decisions or become paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes.
It's all about balance, isn't it?
It is.
Knowing when to delve into the details and when to step back and embrace the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Okay, now for the temperament that makes things happen. The choleric.
Oh, the choleric.
The born leader.
Yes, the born leader.
Strong-willed. They're strong-willed, decisive.
Decisive.
And all about getting things done.
All about getting things done. Think of them as like the commanders-in-chief of life.
Oh, wow.
They're natural-born organizers, goal-oriented, not afraid to take charge. They see a problem, they create a plan, they execute it, often with remarkable efficiency.
That's what we saw in the story about Florence's brother, Ron.
Oh, yeah.
And his time on a troop ship during the Korean War. Instead of succumbing to tedious work assignments, he organized a talent show.
So good.
What a brilliant way to avoid drudgery.
Brilliant.
And demonstrate those leadership qualities.
I know. It perfectly captures the choleric resourcefulness and their ability to take command, even in the most unexpected situations.
Yeah.
And it's not just about, giving orders. They often lead by example, inspiring others with their drive and determination.
And these leadership qualities can manifest early on, right?
Oh, absolutely.
The book mentions a young girl, Jenny, dictating dinner plans to her family.
Oh, I love that. Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
It shows that for cholerics, leadership isn't about age or experience.
Right.
It's an innate drive to take control and shape their environment.
I'm starting to see how understanding these temperaments can be so beneficial.
Right.
Especially in a team setting.
Absolutely.
Imagine knowing who's best suited for brainstorming, who thrives on detailed planning, and who's the go-to person for execution.
You're catching on.
Yeah.
And remember the story about Marita, Florence's daughter, taking charge of stranded passengers at the airport?
Yeah.
Classic example of how cholerics thrive under pressure. While others might feel overwhelmed, they step up, provide direction, use their decisiveness, their problem-solving skills to navigate the situation.
So while some might perceive them as, bossy or controlling, those are often just their leadership qualities in action.
Their leadership qualities in action, yes.
But, like any other temperament, there's a flip side.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right. Cholerics, in their quest for efficiency and control, can sometimes come across as insensitive or dismissive of other people's feelings.
Yeah.
They might prioritize the goal above the people involved, potentially creating friction or resentment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And this is where that fourth temperament, the phlegmatic, comes in.
Yeah.
Like the balancing force.
Yeah. Yes, the steady force. The book doesn't dive as deeply into the phlegmatic personality, but it does mention that they're easygoing, calm, great listeners, and natural mediators.
Like the calm in the storm, you know, the voice of reason when things get heated.
Right.
Their ability to remain composed under pressure makes them so invaluable in conflict resolution and team dynamics. But we'll explore their strengths and weaknesses more thoroughly later in this deep dive. For now, let's stick with what we've learned about these other 3 temperaments.
Okay, so we've got the sanguine, the ultimate motivator, the melancholy, the master of analysis, and the choleric. The born leader.
It's a born leader.
It's amazing how each temperament brings unique strengths to the table.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Right.
As we continue, we're going to uncover even more about how these temperaments interact, how they shape our relationships, and how understanding them can be a game changer in both your personal and professional life.
That's awesome.
It's going to be good.
It's fascinating how just knowing these basic temperaments already makes me think about the people I interact with differently. Like my friend Sarah, who's always the one to rally everyone for a spontaneous adventure. She's such a sanguine.
I bet she is. And thinking about her in those terms, doesn't it help you understand her a bit better?
Totally.
Yeah, maybe anticipate how she'll react in certain situations.
Totally. It's like having this new insight into her motivations. And it makes me realize how her spontaneity, which can sometimes be a little overwhelming, is actually one of her greatest strengths.
Yes.
She brings so much energy and joy to our group.
That's the beauty of Personality Plus. It's not just about labeling people, you know? It's about understanding and appreciating the unique value that each temperament brings to the table. And when you can see those strengths, it helps you navigate relationships more effectively.
It's like having a roadmap for better communication.
Totally.
For example, if I'm planning a trip with Sarah, I know I need to give her some flexibility, room for spontaneity. Whereas if I were planning something with a melancholy friend, I would need to provide a detailed itinerary well in advance.
Exactly. You're already applying these insights to real life situations. And that's what makes this deep dive so valuable. It's not just theoretical knowledge. You're actually getting equipped with tools to enhance your interactions and build stronger connections.
Personality Plus also emphasizes the importance of understanding your own temperament.
Yes.
It's not just about understanding others, right?
Absolutely. Self-awareness is key, right? Recognizing your own dominant temperament along with its strengths and potential weaknesses. That's crucial for personal growth.
The book provides some helpful tips on how each temperament can navigate those potential pitfalls.
Oh, yeah. For instance, for sanguines, it suggests that, while they're naturally enthusiastic and charismatic, they might need to cultivate patience and attention to detail, especially for tasks that require precision.
And melancholies, with their analytical minds and desire for perfection, could benefit from learning to embrace good enough.
Good enough.
And not get bogged down by overthinking or striving for the unattainable.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that even our greatest strengths can become weaknesses if taken to an extreme. You know? For example, a choleric's decisiveness, which is usually an asset, could morph into impulsiveness if they don't take the time to consider all angles.
And their natural leadership style, if not tempered with empathy, could come across as domineering or insensitive to others' needs.
Exactly. And phlegmatics, with their desire for harmony and peace, might need to practice asserting themselves more, especially in situations where avoiding conflict could lead to bigger problems down the road.
So it's not about changing who we are. It's about becoming aware of our natural tendencies and learning to use them in a way that benefits both ourselves and those around us.
It's about finding that sweet spot where our strengths shine without overshadowing the needs or contributions of others.
Okay, before we move on, I'm curious to delve a bit deeper into the phlegmatic temperament.
Okay.
We've touched upon it briefly. But I'd love to hear more about their strengths. And how they fit into this whole puzzle.
So Personality Plus describes phlegmatics as the calm, steady presence in any situation. They're like the peacemakers, the diplomats, the ones that can smooth over ruffled feathers and bring a sense of tranquility even to the most chaotic environments.
It sounds incredibly valuable, especially in today's fast-paced, often stressful world.
It is. Think about, like, you know, those friends or colleagues who always seem to stay cool under pressure, who can listen without judgment, and who have this, like, uncanny ability to just diffuse tense situations. Chances are they have a strong phlegmatic influence in their personality blend.
I can see how having a phlegmatic on a team would be a huge asset.
Huge asset.
They'd be the glue that holds everything together.
Totally.
The voice of reason when things get heated.
Yeah. They excel at mediating conflicts, finding common ground, and creating this harmonious atmosphere where everyone feels heard and respected. But their strengths go beyond, like, conflict resolution. They're also incredibly reliable, patient, and supportive.
Those are all wonderful qualities. But I imagine even phlegmatics,
of course,
have their potential pitfalls. What does the book say about that?
It cautions that their desire for peace and harmony can sometimes lead them to avoid conflict altogether. Even when addressing an issue directly would be more beneficial in the long run. They might also struggle with expressing their own needs or opinions, fearing that it might disrupt the peace.
So it's about finding that balance between maintaining harmony and asserting themselves when necessary.
Precisely. And it's important to remember that no temperament is inherently better than another. It's about recognizing the unique value each one brings to the table and learning to leverage those strengths while mitigating potential weaknesses.
It's like having a diverse toolkit.
Yes.
You wouldn't use a hammer for every job, right?
Exactly.
You need a variety of tools to get things done effectively.
That's a perfect analogy. Each temperament is like a different tool with its own specific purpose and function. And when you understand how those tools work, you can choose the right one for the job and achieve remarkable results.
This is all so fascinating. I'm already starting to see how understanding these temperaments can be a game changer.
It is.
Like interactions with others.
And that's just the beginning. As we delve further into Personality Plus, we're going to explore even more practical applications of this knowledge, from improving communication to building stronger teams to navigating different social situations with greater ease and confidence.
That's great. Wow, it feels like we've uncovered a whole new layer of, like, understanding human behavior. I'm already starting to see the people in my life through this lens of temperaments. And it's amazing how much more sense everything makes.
That's the power of, like, frameworks like this. Like, give you a new perspective, a way to decode the complexities of human interaction. And, like, any good tool, the more you use it, the more proficient you become.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive into Personality Plus, I'm wondering, what's the key takeaway for our listener? What's the one thing they should walk away with today?
I would say the most important takeaway is awareness. Awareness of your own temperament, its strengths, its potential pitfalls, and awareness of the temperaments of those around you. When you understand these fundamental differences, you can navigate relationships with more empathy, clarity, and effectiveness.
It's like learning a new language, the language of personality.
It is.
Once you understand the basics, you can start to communicate more effectively.
Totally.
Anticipate misunderstandings, and even bridge those gaps between different personality styles.
Precisely. And remember, it's not about putting people in boxes. It's about recognizing those dominant patterns, those tendencies that shape how we think, feel, and interact with the world.
It's about moving beyond those surface-level judgments. And appreciating the unique beauty of each individual. So to our listener out there, as you go about your day, start paying attention.
Observe.
Observe the people you interact with. See if you can recognize those temperaments in action.
Notice how your sanguine coworker lights up the room with their enthusiasm.
Yes.
How your melancholy friend meticulously plans every detail. How your choleric boss takes charge and gets things done.
Yeah.
And how your phlegmatic partner brings a sense of calm to any situation.
Right.
It's all around you.
And most importantly, think about how you can use this newfound knowledge to improve your communication, deepen your connections, and build more fulfilling relationships.
Because ultimately, that's what Personality Plus is all about.
Yeah.
It's about understanding ourselves and others better so we can navigate this journey called life.
With more harmony, purpose, and joy.
Well, on that note, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this fascinating exploration of personality.
Yeah, it's been fun.
We hope you found it insightful, engaging, and perhaps even a little bit life-changing.
I hope so. And remember, keep those sources coming.
Yeah.
We're always here ready to dive deep into whatever knowledge you're craving.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep exploring.
Yes.
Keep learning.
Keep learning.
And keep embracing the beautiful diversity of human personality.
Hey listeners, thanks for tuning into another episode. If you enjoyed today's show, please do us a favor and like, share, and smash that subscribe button. That way, you won't miss a single episode packed with insights on leadership, entrepreneurship, faith, and personal growth. We've got fresh content coming your way every single week, only here on the Better Man Project.